some new faces on here. So thank you for attending this. We do record this and send it out to everybody, so you have access and a refresher to um, go over the information that we share today. I am Jenna Jackson, Vice President of Business Development. We have Taylor Larson, our Director of Administration and Member Services. You will get to know us very well, whether you are new to our association, new to WCCEAL and PEAL, or have been here for a very long time. And so today we're going to talk about a few things. We are going to do a little bit of a refresher over the WCCEAL program and what PEAL is and why it's important. We'll talk a little bit about gold status because that is an important mark and measure for all of the participants in WCCEAL. And we hope that all of our providers are able to achieve that. Going to go over some program changes and timeline changes that are coming in 2025. Also, an update on some changes that are going to occur with the QI variable questionnaire, and then kind of wrap some things up as we end. But what I wanted to start with, a few years ago, we created some videos and marketing materials through WCCEAL. You may have seen this, but I want to share this as a refresher, simply because it provides really good information and maybe will even spark a little bit of motivation when it comes to participating in WCCEAL. This is good information for individuals that have been part of this program since the inception, and also a lot of the new faces. We understand that people matriculate, and so we want to make sure that people have access to this. This video is on our website. I know we've shared it a few times, but sometimes with spam blockers and things like that, it gets lost. So it's a short video. It's like 5 minutes long. And I hope that it kind of will spark a little bit of engagement in this and maybe pique some interest in participating in this program and answer some questions that you may have. So I'm actually going to get started with this. Let me make sure I can share my screen. Should be a YouTube video. I'm going to get that. You can see it and hear it. Yep.
Wisconsin Coalition for Collaborative Excellence in Assisted Living. It's all about that collaborative aspect.
It's one of a kind in the country. There's nothing like it. And now other states are seeing the successes.
It's a great collaboration between associations, providers, the Medicaid program, and also our Division of Quality Assurance.
All of those different stakeholders coming together to say, we care about assisted living residents having the best possible quality of care, best possible quality of life. And not only are we going to be content with compliance to the minimum regulations that the state has for this industry, we want to continuously improve.
As we see more and more funding going towards assisted living, there's going to be constant pressure from the federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, from state legislatures to understand what is the value that we're purchasing through our program. I think WCCEAL is being highlighted nationally as a program that can improve quality without increasing the regulatory burden on assisted living facilities.
We're doing it because we care, not because we have to. Let's be proactive rather than reactive, and let's provide the best resources we can for our providers. At the end of the day, it's hard work. And we want to make sure that the staff, the frontline staff, has tools, the leadership has tools, and WCCCEAL really does a great job in providing those resources.
In 2009, Kevin Coughlin came to me to discuss the possibility of creating something like WCCCEAL. We realized that to have a quality improvement program, you really needed to have some standardized data and some standardized measures for things. And so we put together a plan to do that.
So through our PEAL program, Performance Excellence in Assisted Living, we have a lot of additional resources that are available. I think our members will benefit from WCCEAL through the consistent tracking of the data, which gives them the ability to trend their data. It's not about the I gotcha moment. It's really about taking buildings that might be struggling and helping them to put systems in place to make them better, and taking buildings that are already doing well and really helping them to just excel. So, you can take those that are struggling to good and those that are good to great through this program. You truly can.
WCCEAL is a powerful resource to improve the quality of assisted living facilities, and it allows assisted living facilities to compare their quality to their peers in a confidential, safe space.
That's where the association comes in and helping a building who maybe had some substandard scores on their customer satisfaction and saying, how do I prioritize? What do I need to work on first?
If you would imagine with me a cycle that has 4 components, we are going to assess how we're doing. We're going to monitor or get feedback on how we're doing. We're going to take some action. And in WCCEAL, the way that action takes place is by having support from the associations and coaching, and then taking all of that in and adapting. The reason why that is so powerful is that right now there are 400 other assisted living providers who are also submitting their data, which means that I can go in and get feedback on specifically what aspects of my data are important for me to drive action from.
Everybody wants to do a great job, so this is just one more avenue to help them improve and be even better.
From data comes good outcomes, and from the outcomes, how you can improve your quality of life and care.
I've talked to enough members and I said, look, how much time does this actually take to belong to WCCEAL? And they kind of chuckle and they're like, well, you collect your data, and then once a quarter you have to submit your data, and that takes about 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes maybe 10 minutes if you get called away, and then you hit the submit button, and then that's done for the quarter. We want people who come and live and reside in our centers to get the best care possible, and this helps them to ensure the best care possible. The Clinical Resource Center is a brand new benefit that's added to WCCEAL members who are in good standing. And it historically has been a resource center for the skilled nursing world. We're looking for the members of WCCEAL to let us know what they want to see in that Clinical Resource Center as well. So we'll build it for them. They tell us what they need and we'll put it there for them.
Along with all of the resources on the Clinical Resource Center, anyone accessing it also has access to the AMD clinical practice guidelines.
In the future, it's my hope as the administrator of the long-term care benefits in the Medicaid program that we will be able to let consumers know which assisted living facilities are in WCCEAL.
I'm hoping that the managed care organizations will also assist with those quality efforts as well. It could mean more residents to accept those managed care patients. If you're a building that participates in WCCEAL,
you shine above the rest when you are a member of WCCCEAL, because you've taken on that extra responsibility, collecting data, you've invested in your staff, and ultimately who benefits but the resident.
WCCCEAL, the Wisconsin Coalition for Collaborative Excellence in Assisted Living. Visit wcceal.wisc.edu.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay. So thank you for watching that. As you can see, this was filmed a few years ago and some things have changed and actually grown and evolved since this was filmed. I do encourage you, if you bring in new staff that is going to be kind of like the lead on your on your WCCEAL program and submitting that data. This is a really quick way to kind of get them up to speed with what the program is, very high level information. We also have our own training resources for PEAL on our website that is a little bit more in depth, like how to navigate the website. We also set up training with you and your team, whether that's a one-on-one training or a group training, to really understand how to use the website, find the data, use the data, just to make sure that people are comfortable with participating in this program. We want to make sure it's as easy as possible for you, so that you can reap the benefits, you yourself from a business perspective, and also for the residents that you care for. So included in that, I know it talked about how the Clinical Resource Center was something brand new that has grown and developed and evolved into this powerhouse of information and resources and tools. That's included with your participation. You have free access to that. So there is a wealth of information and training resources that you can give to your staff to help improve your quality care and person-centered care planning. So to kind of reframe and go over, WCCEAL is the state collaborative. We participate in this as a sponsor, as does Leading Age and WALA. So we all have our own specific quality excellence programs. Ours is called PEAL. And so by participating in WCCEAL, you get us as a resource to help an array of initiatives that you have within your facility and to support you on your quality journey. And so through that collaboration, we can help you enhance your quality care metrics, because there are various tools and resources and training through the QID website, through the WCCEAL website, through us. And obviously we provide a significant amount of staff training, staff development, whether that's in person at our conferences and conventions, through various webinars that we host throughout the year. Again, the Clinical Resource Center and the various types of information that's on that site. Also, because you are part of YCAL, that means you are part of the National Association for Assisted Living, NCAL. And there is also a great amount of information and training and resources available to you. Many are free, again, that you can utilize to help train your staff, train your colleagues, train yourself when it comes to quality care initiatives. There is a huge reputation boost and is being part of this program. So you are able to kind of what we call like brand management because of the national and state recognition that this program is starting to receive. So online, there is a map that identifies all the communities that participate in WCCEAL. There's also another distinguishing factor that will identify who has gold status. So why is that important? It can help increase census, right? There's going to be residents that are going to need a place to call home, and their families and themselves are going to be looking at this information. It comes up on a simple search. There is good search engine optimization, SEO, with that. So it will come up and people can identify, oh, look at these facilities in my area. Look at these that are participating in this quality program. And so obviously they're going to call you first because you are already participating in this. They can see if you have gold status. We also provide you with marketing materials and a marketing kit. So if you haven't already, and if you need this, we will make sure it's updated on our website so you can grab it, but we can also follow up with an email when we wrap up this webinar. Please promote that you participate in WCCEAL. And if you are a gold member, please market that. Put it on your website. Put it on your email signature, add it to your social media accounts. Maybe once a quarter, do a promotion and a boost to say, did you know that we participate in this? And use some of the information that you get from your satisfaction survey as testimonials for your marketing. Again, this is going to help you attract quality staff as well. There is a direct correlation between culture, quality care, and staff retention. We've talked about that in past webinars. That's things that we will continue to talk about as we move into 2025. But do not forget the marketing and brand management boost that you get from participating in this program. Another big factor has to do with compliance with regulations and regulatory flexibility. Not only do we help you stay current on federal regulations, by participating in this, you ensure that your operations meet the required standards. Additionally, active WCCEAL participants qualify for an abbreviated survey. If you did not know that, that is huge, because you are proactively providing quality care and you commit to that. So your participation in WCCEAL qualifies you for that. You also have access to best practices and kind of like a benchmarking standard. So it builds you the stepping stone that you can utilize to improve your quality care initiative. It is also a great foundation if you wish to achieve the National Quality Award through NCAL. What you do in participating with WCCEAL runs parallel to those quality programs. So if that is something you have not considered, I strongly encourage you to do that. Again, they run parallel to each other. So a lot of the things that you are already doing through your WCCEAL participation will help fill that application, that process with the recognition. And that's a national recognition. Another way to celebrate your successes, to stand out from the rest and to show that you really care and that you are achieving great things by focusing on quality and the residents that you serve. And a big thing, there's financial incentives, whether it's from the development and the expansion of the MCO's pay for performance initiatives, to free educational resources. You don't have to pay to have that education. There's a lot of free information available to you. You also may qualify for premium reductions on your liability insurance premiums. So talk to your insurance carrier. If you are using a company like M3 Insurance, who is also a sponsor and an active participant in this program, talk to them, talk to your current carrier, whoever is assessing that risk, because you are taking a proactive stance. In essence, it should reduce your risk, and you may qualify for some premium reductions. So again, there's a financial incentive to this. And as I mentioned before, there is a direct link to staff retention. When staff feels engaged, you will see a spike in quality care. You will see fall reductions. There's a direct correlation to that. It has been tested. Those theories have been tested and proven to be factual. And so with that, not only are you able to kind of bring in, again, like the brand management, things like that, you're going to be able to bring in quality staff and keep them in your facility because of the way that you approach your business and your practice and what you do to care for your residents. And most importantly, resident and family satisfaction. They are your most important stakeholder in this. And so by improving quality care and training your staff and meeting these high standards, you will see improved satisfaction from both residents and their families. You can see that by tracking your survey process. If you've been in WCCEAL for a long time, you have access to prior year survey results. And you should be looking at that and comparing and seeing how you're improving, looking to see ways and areas that you can improve upon, but also celebrate those successes because that's going to lead to higher retention rates. You're going to get some of those word of mouth referrals. You're going to see happier families. So that is a huge stakeholder to kind of focus on. I know that was a lot of talking. I'm going to pause for a minute because if you have questions just about like WCCEAL overall or what we do through PEAL, feel free to ask those now, unmute, ask, submit it in the chat box. Or if you think about it a week from now, shoot us an email. Always happy to answer those questions. Anybody have any questions? If not, I'm gonna open up and share some information about really what the requirements are to participate. It can seem daunting at first because there's so much information and there's just a wealth of data that's available to you. But truly, the first time that you submit a QI variable, maybe 10 minutes, maybe. And then after that, it's just a few minutes each quarter. So really the requirement to participate in WCCEAL and be an active WCCEAL participant is to generate the annual satisfaction survey, distribute it to your residents, and ensure at least one survey is returned. That's all that you need. You need to have at least one satisfaction survey returned. And then throughout the year, you just need to submit QI variables once a quarter. That's it. That's all you need to do to participate. Let me share. Let me share this task. I hope you can see it. Yeah, it looks like you can see that. So this is online on the QID website. We will send this around, print this off, give it to the people that are submitting or leading the initiative in your WCCEAL program. It might be one people, it could be 3 or 4. Make sure they have this. Tape it somewhere that is visible. This will give you literally a checklist to say, here are what the tasks are, when I can start them, and when they have to be completed by. And so this also kind of goes along with a little bit of the changes that are coming for 2025. But it's very easy to see. You can see that, January 1, between January 15, you have to submit some QI variable data. That is going to be for Q4 of 2024. The biggest shift with the, I would say, timeline of participation is when the satisfaction surveys can be generated and when they need to be due by. We shifted it back. Just knowing what happens at the beginning of the year, wanting to make sure you have a full year of data. We wanted to give you a better opportunity and higher success rate to generate the satisfaction surveys, distribute them to the residents, and then to ensure that they come back. So instead of that starting all on January 1, when you were probably dealing with a million other things at the beginning of the year, it got pushed back to March 19th. So between March 19th and April 15th of 2025, you can generate your satisfaction surveys. So you generate those online. We have a means to help you get those out to the residents and make sure that the residents return them. I'll go over that in a little bit, but that's one of the bigger shifts. So you have, here's when you can start and here's when it has to be done by. There are rigid deadlines, and that is to ensure that people adhere to the program requirements. Again, this is all because we want to ensure that we continue to have a collaborative nature when it comes to the state regulations that we have for the assisted living environment here in Wisconsin. We are unique. That is why we are growing. That is why our assisted living sector is growing. That is why there are other states, and even from the national level, they're looking at us to say, wow, could we implement this in our state to ensure that there is some regulatory flexibility and that our assisted living sector does not become as heavily regulated or over-regulated as our skilled sector. We want to maintain that. So the more people that participate in this, the better opportunity we have to sustain that and also excel at it. So again, here's where the quality tasks are. Again, it's simple. There's really just kind of 4 major things that happen throughout the year. QI variables, I guess those are 4, and then generating those surveys and making sure that your residents return them. And with that, so residents themselves, when you do those satisfaction surveys, they can complete it on their own. They can complete it with the help of a family member. They can complete it with the help of a staff member. It's just really important that they complete it and then return it. So one step beyond that, and this is our goal for all of our PEAL members, we want all of you to have gold status. Again, it just shows that you are the best of the best. It sets you apart from everybody else that is working in your sector. It shows your true commitment to the residents that you serve. So with that, there is, not only do you need to submit your QI variables, you need to go back in and review them on a quarterly basis. So it's a submit and review. And then you need to ensure that at least 25% of the surveys that are distributed or pulled get returned back. Again, the more data that you have, the better, because you want to have a complete not just a snapshot, but a complete data set to kind of review what you are doing and how you're doing that. And so the satisfaction survey really breaks down everything from whether it's a dietary satisfaction, activities, the care, feeling heard, feeling safe. It is really important information. So one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is a unique request from just us at Peel, when you generate your surveys, I would like you to make a copy of one. Just make a copy and then make multiple copies of that copy. I want you to distribute that satisfaction survey to your IDT team, your dietary leaders, your DONs, some caregivers. Pick maybe 15 or 20 individuals that work in your facility, or 5 to 10, depending on the size of your facility. But individuals that have a stake in the questions that are asked, and ask them to answer as if they were a resident. You're probably like, why would we do this? Like, why would we have our staff complete this? This is going to be a really good measure to see where you are at from a staffing and culture perspective when it comes to possible implicit bias on your care. And it's going to really be a good reality check to kind of compare, here's what we think we are doing really good at. Here's where we think we are giving our residents that we serve, and compare it then to the data that you receive back from your residents. It is really interesting. We have done something similar to this with our Leadership Academy, where the leaders go back to their staff and say, you know what, we do all these various surveys and satisfaction requests. I want you to fill one out based on how you perceive my leadership. And then compare that to where you are at. And some people may rate themselves lower than what the residents do. You may be rating yourself higher. Say, you know what, from the dietary team may think we have the best meals. For sure, the residents are going to love these. They may give themselves all 5s, and the residents come back with like 3 saying, no, actually, this isn't great. It helps you kind of shift your perspective and shift your focus to make sure that you're really focusing on the needs of the residents that you serve, that you're following their care plan and really listening to what they're asking for. If they maybe don't know how to vocalize it, this survey will help kind of guide you on the right path to make sure that you're meeting the needs of your residents. So again, once you generate a survey, just make a copy of it, because we don't want that to ding you when you kind of go in to look at how many are generated and how many are returned. Just make a copy of it and then distribute those copies to make sure at least a couple caregivers give it to your dietary staff. Your activities director would be a really good one to ensure has that as well. And then kind of compare and contrast how you feel you are doing compared to what your residents are saying. And that will also be able to identify improvement opportunities for improvement. And then you can go back to us or to the Clinical Resource Center or HC and CalEd and kind of look at ways to train your staff. As we look forward to conference and convention season, we are going to be focusing more on ensuring that our assisted living providers have their own track for education. Falls continue to be an issue, so we will ensure that there is incredible information and resource and training provided to you in person, looking at customer care, quality care, because you are in truly a customer service-based industry. We want to make sure that you and your team are set up for success. Culture and leadership, workforce, retention. If there is anything that you have seen or wish that you had education for or can't find anywhere else, please email me. You are the experts. I lean to you fully to say, here's what we need, here's what we want, here's what we'd like to have, so that we can plan and ensure that you have all of the things and resources and tools available to you to be as successful as possible. And I'm going to pause one more time before we I go over just a few of the changes that are coming for 2025. Does anyone else have questions at this moment? I know I'll wrap up really quickly. So a few of the changes we already went over, just kind of like the timeline shift. Another change that is going to be happening is we have been working closely with the other associations to revamp the QI variable form. Specifically the questions that are asked, how they are asked, and the type of data that's being collected. And so over the course of the last 6 months, we have brought in some members and participants to give us their feedback and their insight. So we are currently working with the other associations, and in the next few months, there will be kind of a survey of sorts released to all of the WCCEAL participants so we can get your feedback so that we can make the necessary updates to the QI variables. They have not been updated since I shouldn't say they haven't been updated. There have been some changes and modifications to the questions, but there has not been this complete kind of like in-depth look at the questions since the program started. And so we are looking at things like capturing, so you have access to what you're paying your individuals, so you can kind of better plan and budget for that. How are you doing to celebrate successes? And some other metrics so that you can kind of have this data accessible to you and use it as you plan how you treat your staff, how you celebrate your staff, what you're doing for your residents, how you care for your residents, and how you operate as a business, and how you operate in that kind of culturally focused setting. So we will wrap all of this up in an email. We will send this video. We'll make sure that you have links to our website. Taylor provides incredible training. She is a subject matter expert when it comes to WCCEAL, the data, the forms. I go to her frequently when I have questions about trying to locate a data sheet. She will set up training with your entire staff. If you want to learn information and then train your staff, or if you want her to train your team, please, this is what we are here for. We are here to support you and make sure that you are providing the best levels of quality care to your residents. So use us. We want to support you in all the ways possible. And again, please never hesitate to reach out to us with feedback, constructive criticism, requests for education, questions just on how to and best practices, or where you can go to find the necessary answers to your questions. So with that, again, if you have any questions, email us, type in the chat box. Otherwise, our half an hour is up, and I do not want to take up any more of your precious time. So thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. And we will be in touch and continue to support you on your quality goals in 2025. So take care, everybody. Thank you.